Chapter 3 of Dungeons and Dimwits. A little town with a dark secret. Lemon hit the strings of her lute for the last time and took a large swing of bottle of rum. Next to her, Gamora kick up, watching the skeletons dancing on deck of the ship. One of them spun the helm, causing the ship to take a sharp turn, but didn't seem to bother the rest of the dancing skeletons. Lemon started to play the lute again, this time using the ball as a slide. Next to her, a skeleton ran his fingers across his ribs, making it sound like a washboard. Gamora chuckled and gave the skeleton his bottle of rum. The skeleton took a sip, causing alcohol to spill down his spine. "Hey, let it out!" Gamora laughed. "Do you think they can play the bones like a vibraphone?" Vibraphone? Lemon tried. Is that even an instrument or some kind of battery-powered tenderhoof? Nah, it's like a xylophone on steroids. Gamora chuckled. Wait, right tenderhoof. Why not? You're gay. You're allegedly straight, but that doesn't stop you from ugly flirt whenever you have the chance. Lemon replied. Why flirt, though? I mean, that's some really bad taste. I'll tell you if you tell me you're right Tenderhoof. Gamora's character faded a bit, revealing sunny flair. Thus he kept speaking with an accent. I mean, you'll say fluorescent like a bad taste. No, you had a crush on Tenderhoof yourself, Lemon exclaimed. I mean, didn't you two? No. He almost ran away halfway through the first open alpha lead. Sunny replied, I'd rather get a battery powdered version, though. So he took another sip from her bottle. And then it got worse. I showed him my fanfiction. Smooth. Lemon muttered. Was it the one with a horse? No, the one with a tank full of daddy schoolgirls. Sunny smirked. With fire and barrels and everything. Never show someone your fanfiction on a first date. Lemon down her bottle and burnt. Though I'm not an expert in relationships, I ended up with sour sweet. Ew, sang Wits. I mean, I told mine, but still ew. Let's stage the topic before I throw it up, okay? Sure thing, Lemon shrugged. So, what do you want to talk about? I recently played some online chess, and I sacrificed my queen 3 times in a row. Lemon frowned, her eyebrows trying to focus. Reading the label on the bottle of rum helped, but only slightly. Did it work? Twice, but in the third game, I didn't calculate my opponent and thus declined the sacrifice. I ended it up down the exchange with 2 pawns, but I sacrificed the other rook and got the draw by 3-fold repetition. Lemon nodded slowly. Dude, I have no idea what you just said. She scratched her head. I mean, like, I know some of these words. Only Sugarcoat understands me. Sunny wept, wiping her nose with Lemon's sleeve. Isn't that sad? No. It means you're both in the chess club. Lemon sighed and looked at the engine bottle. Do you have more of that? Suddenly the door in the mess opened, and for fear the clueless barbarian walked in with an expression suggesting that he was rather pleased with himself. Sorry, girls, he said. Traffic jams. Indigo thrilled her eyebrows. Noticing that Lemon and Sunny were half sitting, half laying on the floor, watching a video of skeletons dancing on one of Sunny's numerous laptops, and surrounded by empty bottles of rum-flavored beer. She shook her head and poked Sunny with her foot. We only got 20 minutes late, and you're already drunk? We wouldn't be late if you didn't insist on getting snacks. Twice, said, walking into the room with sour sweet, Sugarcoat, and a thin girl with glasses neither Sunny or Lemon recognized. Once given their seat, King was never surprised. Hey, I didn't want to get hungry, Indigo replied. I'm not myself when I'm hungry. Well, maybe you could finally be your character, Sugarcoat said, though I agree on Sax. This sense is already seeming out to be great. She looked at the girl who sat next to Twilight's side. So far, the highlight of the day was you ordering them. Indigo smiled sleeping. Well, what can I say? 2 large burritos, 6 tacos, some nachos, large Diet Coke. Indigo turned away from the blue-skinned girl, instead standing behind the counter and looked at Sugarcoat. You want something? I guess I'll settle on a burrito. Sugarcoat shrugged. Jalapeno sauce and pork. Burrito for me, Indigo said. Unless you have... We are not talking Carolina Reaper. Sugarcoat looked at the girl behind the counter. She's a novice Tillyhead. Nothing more than 350,000 on the Schofield scale for her. Indigo groaned. Hey, Sugarcoat crossed her arms. Do I have to remind you what happened when we went to Mexico on a vacation? We accidentally met Rainbow Dash in the middle of Tijuana, and you two idiots ate the Carolina Reaper peppers on a dare. Hey, it was fine. Eating it, yes, Sugarcoat chuckled. Later, though. Indigo, what are you doing on the toilet for so long? Dying, I hope. She shook her head. I thought this trip couldn't get any dumber after you asked me why the air in Mexico isn't tinted orange like in the movies. Shut up, Sugarcoat. Indigo looked at the menu. Do you think we should buy Twilight a quesadilla? Sugarcoat shook her head. Unless you want a disaster bigger than you and the Carolina Reaper, then sure, why not? Otherwise, have you ever heard of a thing called lactose intolerance? No, I'm not a fan of Grangler, Indigo replied. Unless it's a metalcore band, then maybe I could check it out. Sugarcoat groaned. There's a dune give me strength. Okay. Twilight shook her head and grabbed the taco. Let's start. Last time you stole a pirate ship and turned a dead crewman into skeletons. Which is probably why Sunny's mom thinks we come here to worship Satan. Anyway, you sailed towards... Wait. Sunny looked at her finger. Can we address the elephant in the room? She turned to the bespectacled girl next to Twilight. Not that I think you're fat, it's just a rhetorical figure. She hiccuped. Who the hell are you? Oh, I almost forgot to mention, Twilight smiled simply. This is Jennifer Montage. She wants to take part in a casting to some fancy movie and wants to train by playing NPCs. Juniper, this is Sunny Flare. My uncle works with her mom, Juniper said. We met before, although right now she probably doesn't remember. Yeesh, perhaps, Sunny tried, looking at the empty bottle of beer. You don't have to introduce me, Sugarcoat said. I mean, my boyfriend is her cousin and we've met before. Like, what idiot brings his own cousin on a date? Knowing Sandalwood, he hoped for a threesome. Indigo chuckled. Also, I remember you, Juniper. You turned into a demon and almost ruined the mall, didn't you? Oh, I'm sorry, Juniper chuckled. It wasn't really my fault. Happens to all of us. Lemon watched Juniper try to hug her, only for Juniper to wake her out quickly. I mean, who in this town didn't turn into a demon? No, Saraswee on her period doesn't count. Sugarcoat dragged Lemon away from her. Fuck off, Sugarcoat, Sour muttered. Also, Juniper, don't let Lemon play vampire with you. Or if you do, tell me about it. What do they mean by playing vampire? Juniper whispered to Twilight. Twilight sighed. You'll regret finding out. She sat down with her notes. Okay then. After a week of an uneventful cruise, the arrow split the apple on the skeleton's head in half, embedded itself in the mass. Irregularly, the sour elf smirked and put her bow down. She was getting better and better at aiming. This time she only put an arrow through the skeleton's eye socket once. He didn't seem to mind and kept smiling at her. Hey, check this out! Pfeiffer, the totally not Indigo, watched her with an axe in his hands. Gamor got me this. It's my weapon for close combat, so I don't accidentally hit everything with my sword. Sarah looked at the axe. Only it was a bit shorter than the sword. Do you even know what close combat is? Do you? Pfeiffer shrugged. I mean, you're an usher, so... I carry more daggers than you can count, Sarah replied. If I had a crossbow, I'd put a bayonet on it. I tried to put one on the bow. I asked Gamork for it, but, well, he's not in the mood for doing that right now. Sarah pointed at the half-orc, who was currently dancing with Lemon and several skeletons. Also, where's Green Master? Under a deck, performing some ritual, Pfeiffer shrugged. Guess controlling so many undead is straining her a bit. I think she gained him some autonomy. Sarah looked at the skeleton who tried to eat an apple, but he kept falling out of his mouth. Suddenly, another skeleton fell from the crow's nest and smashed on the deck. Sarah looked at the broken hand and was raised its finger and pointed to the front of the ship. She looked there and threw her eyebrows. What do your elf eyes see? Pfeiffer asked. When Sarah could reply, Lemon walked to her, staggering and strumming the strings of her lute. Roses are red. Running is hard, so he got... They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Can I shoot her? Sarah asked. Be my guest, Pfeiffer replied, gently pushing the drunken halfling away. Gently for a barbarian, anyway. Lemon tripped over the broken skeleton and collapsed, but this didn't faze her. She grabbed the skull and smiled at it. Hello, handsome. Let's toss her overboard, Sarah sighed. Also, I could see the land, with a big black spire looming over it. Guess this is our destination, Pfeiffer said. Is there anything else in there? There's a coastal town that seems to be in the shadow of the spire. This is odd since the sun's behind us, so it's not possible. Fafnir furrowed his bushy ginger eyebrows and looked at the sun. What does that have to do with anything? The shadow of this thing should be behind it, not in front of it. Sarah rolled her eyes. So, this is something dangerous and magical? Yes. Let's go there! When the ship entered the port, nobody was there. The pier was completely devoid of life, and not even an old one-eyed sailor-turned-beggar witnessed a ship full of skeletons that stopped by the mooring. The colorful band of travelers that walked out of it also received no attention. What will we do with all these skeletons? Aureli the Sour Elf asked. Oh, they can take the ship wherever they want, Grey Mouser replied. When we get back, we'll be rich enough to buy the entire fleet. The skeletons raised the sails, and the ship started to slowly move forwards. Maybe we should have left it as a getaway vehicle? Sarah replied. Or as a weapon. Remember that one time we played Call of Cthulhu and Indigo rammed the altar with a monster truck full of explosives and proceeded to shoot the cultists with an AK-47 until everything exploded? Why does that tale sound familiar? Would be awesome if someone did this on a ship. If I recall correctly, it was IWI Tavar. Indigo chuckled, before dropping her February accent. I mean, Sugarcoat keeps keeping me erasing rifles for some reason. I also dual-wielded Uzis after I ran out of ammo. She smirked. Man, best death ever. Yeah, more of that when I'm back as a DM. Grey Mouser chuckled. Okay, we need to find some locals. This town seems too quiet. Yeah, let's find it in and get wasted, Gamark exclaimed, slurring a bit. You're already wasted, idiot, Sour muttered, walking down the pier. Come on, maybe we'll find someone who isn't retarded. Suddenly, they saw some woman in rags running towards them. She dropped to her knees in front of Sour and bowed. Great elf warrior! She exclaimed, Great warriors, finally! Oh, great warrior! We have been waiting for you. Sour rolled her eyes. I said someone who isn't retarded. Hey, if you don't like my acting, you can Sour grabbed a bow and shot at the woman, who dropped dead in front of her. Remind me, what part of True Neutral are you? Grey Mouser asked, walking to the woman's body. I think I can help her. Using necromancy? Sour furrowed her eyebrows, looking around in case there were any witnesses. Hey, better than shooting a random woman because you didn't like her acting. Grey Mouser rolled his eyes. Now, the rest of the citizens will fuck us up if we don't have a ship. Lemon hiccuped up. Wait, where's our ship? Did you fall asleep? Sour asked. Sugarcoat sent it back because we thought she would become rich. I may have fallen asleep for a moment. Lemon pointed to the dead woman. But her hair smelled nice. She had a very soft shoulder. What? Indigo asked. I can confirm. Super said. Spent the last 15 minutes sleeping on my shoulder. But she just looks too cute to wake her up. She turned to Sour. Also, did your parents drop you on your head when you were a baby? Why did you shoot me? Sour's lips formed a smirk that didn't quite reach her eyes. Oh, you know nothing about my head, honey. Do you want to find out? Do I? Jibber whispered to Sunny. Nah, she's a crazy bitch. Sunny tried to grab the ball of beer. Want some? Sour stood up. How about shoving that ball up your... Enough! Twilight exclaimed. Lemon, stop falling asleep. Sour, stop shooting NPCs and threatening people. Sugarcoat, I did nothing wrong, Sugarcoat said. For once. Twilight sighed. And Sunny, I want some. What? Sunny asked. Some beer, of course. Twilight rolled her eyes. I know how many more balls you have stuffed there. I know. Just never thought you'd be the type to do underage drinking, Sunny sighed. Though on the other hand, everyone thinks Indigo is constantly drunk, but that's how she rolls. Hey, let's not forget about the 7th grade, Indigo said. I don't know what was the idea behind Twilight Moon Dancer's chemistry project, but they started making booze and got drunk on fuse or some shit, remember? Oh yeah, Sunny shuddered. I still have nightmares about Moon Dancer tasting me with a syringe and yelling that she'll give me cancer. She turned to Twilight. What was in that syringe? Twilight took a large sip of her beer. It may have been urine for all I know. Moon Dancer wasn't exactly stable back then. Implying she is now, Sour Sweet muttered. I'm not one to talk, but at least I don't have a plan to kill everyone I met. Interesting, Super said. I need to talk to him one day. Cersei shook her head. You really want to become an anonymous corpse in a back alley one day? Been there, done that, Super replied. I played a corpse in one show. I just had to shoot a few flashbacks, and then I had Stormy Flash standing this close to me. She made a wide gesture with her hands, flip her sunglasses, and say, looks like the jig is up. You know, because I was an Irish burglar beaten to death with a banjo. Ah, those later episodes really got ridiculous, Sugarcup muttered. On a side note, laying on an autopsy table in your underwear is not fun. Chipper said, it was cold and my back hurt. Underwear, you say? Lemon sassed. What was it? Twilight took another sip of her beer. Lemon, shut your mouth. Let's get back to the game. Sarah woke up with a terrible headache. The light was shining through the bars in the window, making her unable to focus, even despite the fact that she was an elf. Also, it seemed to shine in her eyes only. The streets below were still covered in the shadow of the black spire. She looked around. Her bow was missing, and so were the arrows. When she rolled her on her back, she found out that at least one of her knives was still in place. Thought you'd never wake up, Greenmouser said, looking at her. Rise and shine, Shower Elf, before they hang us. Why would they hang us? Sarah asked. You killed that woman at the pier, remember? The halfling rolled his eyes. Didn't you bring her back to life? Sarah asked. I mean, unlife, but no one knows the difference so far. Yes, but it turns out they don't like elves here, Greymaster replied, or any magic user. They wanted to arrest Lemon too, but she sang them a song and seduced the commander of the guard. Typical Lemon, Sarah groaned. But what about the rest? Are they planning to get us out? Don't worry. After a while, you get used to being hanged. Greymaster smirked. Also, I wouldn't count on that. They were pretending they didn't know who killed that woman until the mayor said he'd give 1,000 golden coins to anyone who knew something about this case. Gamorg whacked you over the head with a stick bigger than him. Fucking halfling. Sarah got up and started pacing around the cell. When I get out of here, I'm gonna feed him his balls. Grey Mouser raised his hand. I like to point out he's an half-orc. And a half-halfling. Sarah shrugged, so a quarterling? Half-gnome. Grey Mouser rolled his eyes. Please don't confuse gnomes and halflings. Halflings are respectable members of modern society, while gnomes are Mother Nature's half-baked bastards. What's the difference? Sarah asked. It's all a little bunch of shits. Halflings live in comfortable barrows, although mine is currently a less bit comfortable after my compatriots tried to burn it, she shrugged. I only brought a dead kid back to life. Why did everyone act like it was a big deal? Meanwhile, gnomes lived in mines and other shitholes. Their cooking tastes like crap and they think they're some kind of dwarves or something. In my forest, we call dwarves target practice, Sarah said. Greymouser nodded. Well then, you're always welcome in my burrow. It's pretty cozy if you don't mind rat bones. Also, I think the villagers destroyed my pentagram. I don't think we'll ever see the light of day again, Sarah replied. Unless our friends are planning to bust us out of prison. Wonder where they are. The small castle on the city outskirts was basically a ruin, with half of a roof missing and an actual tree growing in the middle of one of the rooms. The sole inhabitant, however, was an actual sorcerer, a balding man in a black robe with multiple patches that had been banished from a town a long time ago. But he still remembered the day when the Black Spire appeared on the horizon. It must have been a deed of a powerful god, he said. It just appeared overnight, and the cultists came soon after. Some days they pay for advice or wares with coins like this one. He got to the coin Gamork showed him. However, soon the numbers grew, and he started to kidnap kids and desecrate graves. We sent 12 greatest warriors, along with a 13th one who wasn't from here, but they never came back. Hey, I know this one! Indigo exclaimed, watching a ginger cat which was walking on the table and hissing at Lemon. Is that Gargamel? I was the 13th warrior with my sister. Hard times started for our town, the sorcerer continued. Those cultists are preparing something. The merchants started to disappear. Soon we may starve. What about the king? Gamor asked, taking a sip of beer. There must have been some king, yeah. The king doesn't care about our little town. The sorcerer shook his head. I wanted to hire an army of adventurers, but I need gold for that. If only I caught them. Who? Lemon asked. Little blue creatures, the sorcerer replied. I can use them to make gold. Gold, you say? Lemon's eyes lit up. Little blue creatures? Too bad we already sold Sugarcoat to the mayor, and Gamor gets more green than blue. Although Sonny... Maybe he means Nakbak Figure, Gamor asked. Wait. Indigo stood up. Don't you get the way this guy looks? The ruin we're in? I might be a barbarian, but I'm not helping Gargamel cast Smurfs! One has to have rules. Dude, what? Lemon asked. Indigo raised her eyebrows. Why is everyone so surprised I know all these things? It's because the only reference you caught so far is Smurfs of all things, Gamor kicked up. You're funnier because I didn't. No, because I'm slightly tipsy. Indigo's side turns to the sorcerer. Okay, Chipper. Wait. I can call you Gargamel. Because why not? We'll beat the crap out of these cultists for all the money you find in Fortress Steel. You and who else? The sorcerer asked. I mean, your friends don't exactly look like warriors. Well, we have an elf archer and a pocket-sized necromancer, but... Indigo slammed her forehead. Oh crap! I forgot you're in prison! That's great, Gamor sighed. They may have been hanged for all we know. It was your stupid idea, you bloody runt. Indigo sent into barbarian mode, grabbing a battle axe and waving over the half-orc's head. We better go before it's too late! We can always seduce the cultists, Lemon exclaimed. I'll seduce your ass if you don't move! Indigo savagely relaxed. Kinky. Oh, shut up! The mayor of the town knew how to keep his approval ratings high. In a place ravaged by cultists and forgotten by gods and monarchs alike, a public execution or two was enough to keep morale in check. Especially since, at least in this part of the world, seeing an elf being hanged was a rare treat. Halfling was even rarer, although this came with a few technical difficulties. I'm going to need more chairs, the executioner said, looking at Grey Mouser. Also, how much do you weigh? I don't know. Last time I was getting hanged, he wanted to go with a short drop. Necromancer replied. Also, I can revive your assistants if you want. Nah, they were bad anyway. Two of his assistants were lying dead on the floor, while two more restrained a railing to Sarah Elf. Where did he hide that knife? Elf secrets. Grey Mouser replied. And watch out, she probably has a few more. You're not helping! Sour exclaimed. Also, I'm not telling you how much I weigh. So drop then, Executioner said. Just for show. We have quite a large audience outside, and most of them are betting whether elves shit themselves when they die or not. He lowered his voice to a whisper. Do they? Come closer and I'll tell ya. Sour replied. No thanks. The Executioner looked at his assistants. We're running late anyway, and... Suddenly, the door burst open, slamming the Executioner in the back, and pushing him in on Sour. We didn't waste time, freeing ourselves from the assistant's grab and stabbing him in the throat with another knife. So he spun in place, kicking one of the assistants and sending him flying towards the wall. The other one dodged the initial blow, but he didn't even notice when Sour stabbed him in the eye, proving once and for all that elves were superior when it came to speed. We came here to negotiate! Fefir the Barbarian exclaimed. With whom? The Grey Mouser asked, looking at the Executioner, though that he wears a hood. No one will notice that he's a zombie. We were going to tell the mayor that we could set them free for the cultists, and that we need you for that. You be free if you survived. Lemon replied. Exactly. Like in Dirty Dozen, Fefir Barbarian said. Though we may not tell the mayor his executioners are currently unavailable. I'm working on it, Grey Mouser replied. Also, Sour, stop trying to stab Gamork, okay? That treacherous little motherfucker! Sour exclaimed. Why would I? Well, I don't know if you have an interesting vocabulary, Gamork said. There are no words in Quenya or Cinderain to express what I feel about you, Sour spat. We'll talk about it later. Grey Mouser got up and looked at the Executioner, who stood up in an oddly stilted manner. Now, let's find a mayor. We need someone to tell people that the show's cancelled. Knowing the mayor, he'll want to hang someone else or the audience may get pissed, Lemon said. Trust me, I got to know him a bit. Grey Mouser snickered. In the biblical sense. Shut up, Sugarcoat! Lemon rolled her eyes. I'll better talk to him. Even when you're sober, all you had the diplomatic skills of a baboon with a pair of cymbals. Gamor kicked up. Yep. Don't take too long. The guy is old, he might not survive that. Lemon only sighed. Twilight took a sip of her third beer, rolled an eye. Okay, you successfully convinced the mayor that it's better to set your friends free, so you can help the town get rid of cultists. That's it? Lemon asked. I hope I get to play with Juniper a bit. It'd take too long, Twilight replied, and it's getting late too. Yes, and despite what you may think, I don't really swing that way. Juniper moved her chair away from Lemon. I mean, you're cute and stuff, but come on. I wanted to engage in some diplomatic relations, Lemon replied. Yeah, sure, Indigo said. Sadie's mom always thinks we're trying to summon Satan here. Let's not convince her that we're shooting poor instead. So you already thought that when we tried to shoot an anti-drug PSA, remember? Sadie chuckled. Also, Twilight, don't you think it's enough of the game? Twilight asked. I mean, you're living in town, so we might as well. I mean the beer, but whatever. Are you sure you're fine? Yes, Twilight said a bit too quickly. Also, we're a bit behind that schedule of all of you constantly trying to screw each other over. So you want to continue? Then why not? Well, we gained some money recently, so we might as well. We'll visit a merchant first, Indigo said. I'll need better armor and a helmet. Guess we should all get horses, because so far only Lemon has a pony. I'd like to remind you that all the merchants in town were slaughtered by cultists, Saraswee said. Right. What about Sunny? She's the artificer, right? We need some magic items. Trust me, you'll get magic items, Sunny replied. Also, in case magic fails, I always have a good old barrels of gunpowder. Perfect for any cultist in the universe. Fine, Indigo said. Let's go then. Oh boy.